Hi, thanks for joining our workshop today. I'm on the sea portion of the Mountains to Sea Trail today, and we're going to explore 4 communities that have hidden treasures along the MST. So stay with us, you're in for a treat.
Hello and welcome to Ashe County. I'm Jeff Fissel. I am the Executive Director of the Ashe County Arts Council. I also sit on the local tourism board, and I am an avid hiker myself. So looking forward to taking you guys on a quick tour of what we have to offer if you are planning your Mountains to Sea trip here in Ashe County. Ashe County is known as North Carolina's coolest corner. We are located in the northwest corner of North Carolina, conveniently located just under 2 hours from Charlotte, about 1 hour from Raleigh, and recently completed Highway 221 that takes you right into West Jefferson, which is a nice new 4-lane divided highway. So getting here is never a problem. We have over 30 miles of accessible trail here in Ashe County. The Mountains to Sea Trail generally parallels the Blue Ridge Parkway, which means you can hop on and hop off at pretty much any location, and it makes it easy to make a day hike, whether it's just a quick mile or if you want to hike all 30 miles, it's very easy to set that up and do it. All of our trail along the Mountains to Sea Trail is very accessible. We have all kinds of other outdoor recreation here in Ashe County, including kayaking and canoeing with the New River. We have tons of great trout streams for fly fishing or traditional fishing, golf, disc golf, and we have some of the best road cycling and mountain biking in the state as well. Plenty to see and do if you're here, and we also are home to 2 state parks, Mount Jefferson State Park and New River State Park, with tons of extra options there. And we have a great outfitter in downtown West Jefferson that can get you geared up for all your needs. And we also have tons of river guides and other outdoor recreation companies to get you set up, to get you guided, or a canoe rental or kayak rental, whatever you might need, you can find it here. West Jefferson is kind of the hub of Ashe County, and it is a picturesque mountain town just located minutes from the trail. It's under 15 minutes to get to the Blue Ridge Parkway from downtown West Jefferson, and we have a ton to do here. There is a thriving art scene with over 20 downtown murals, 13 galleries, tons of shopping. We have live music and events happening all throughout the year, an excellent farmers market, 2 great breweries, and of course the world famous Ashe County cheese right down here in West Jefferson. Ashe County is filled with beautiful scenery, recreation, shopping, dining, music, and events. There are plenty of places to stay, whether you're looking for a beautiful mountain cabin, there are plenty for rent, or if you're looking for a hotel, or of course some downtown Airbnbs, so you can walk to all of our great restaurants and our breweries. All of it are available here, and we look forward to seeing you. Your next hiking trip starts in Ashe County. If you're looking for additional resources, you can check out these websites below at visitwestjefferson.org, ashcountyarts.org, and the ashcountychamber.org. Hope to see you here sometime this summer, either in town or on the trail, and look forward to exposing you and getting a chance to visit Ashe County in West Jefferson, North Carolina. Thanks so much.
Good afternoon, trail friends. My name's Heather Cotton. I'm the planning director for the city of Marion. It is a pleasure to be here with you today to share some of my favorite day hikes, places to visit, and things to do while visiting McDowell County and the Marion area. So Marion is located along segment 4 of the Mountains to Sea Trail and is located just off of I-40 between Asheville and Hickory in the foothills of Western North Carolina. We are quickly becoming a destination for weekend warriors and outdoor enthusiasts. And today I'm going to start the first hike at Black Mountain Campground. This is the start of segment 4 eastbound. While technically this is not McDowell County, the hike ends at Cinch Cat Ridge Overlook on the Blue Ridge Parkway, located on our northern border. The trail extends 6.5 miles one way or 13 miles out and back. The trail offers a few peekaboo views of the Black Mountain Range to the north. The mountain range is the highest in the eastern United States, with most of the peaks topping over 6,000 feet in elevation. Here's a view of earlier this year of the Black Mountains from the trail. The second day hike is located at Woodlawn Park on Highway 221 North in Marion. This is the closest that the MST intersects with Marion and is the best place to stop and provision before getting back on the trail for those who may be through hiking. It's a 3.85 mile hike one way or 7.7 mile out and back. And it's also the least strenuous Mountains to Sea Trail section in McDowell County. There is an unmarked parking area on Good Road, which is located just north of Woodlawn Park. Hikers can park on the shoulder of Good Road, which terminates at a Forest Service road. Hiking from Woodlawn Park, hikers can turn left at the pedestrian bridge and hike back along the Forest Service road to the gate, and that's a total distance of 4.65 miles. And one thing to keep in mind is that Woodlawn Park does not show up on Google Maps. So to find the trailhead, it's best to look for the Forest Service Woodlawn Work Center or use GPS coordinates to locate the park. The MST trailhead is directly across the road from the parking area. And be sure to look both ways before crossing this 5-lane roadway. It feels a little bit like Frogger. And here's some views of Dobson Knob and Bald Knob. These are best viewed during the winter time. Here's an actual view of what it would look like in the winter time, and a picture of the pedestrian bridge and North Fork of the Catawba River. For those who haven't visited Marion in a while or have never been to Marion, I encourage you to come visit our downtown. We were voted best small town by the North Carolina Rural Center in 2018. Our downtown is a vibrant little hub of activity filled with amazing small businesses. And I found it a little difficult to pick out a few to share. So I focused on beer, food, ice cream, and provisioning, but there's so much more that downtown has to offer. So the first stop is Miketown Brewery. It is McDowell County's first brewery and a local favorite where everyone knows your name. They offer quiz night every Wednesday night and sometimes switch it up with bingo. My beverage of choice is the ginger beard. Just around the corner is McDowell Local, which was recently featured in Our State magazine. The Main Street Burger, which is featured here, with pickled okra and bacon jam, has to be one of the best burgers I've ever eaten. They're also known for locally sourcing their ingredients, and they're open for lunch and dinner. Just down the street is Artisana Ice Cream. It's a minority-owned third-generation ice cream shop. All ice cream is made fresh in-house. Last year, they expanded their yummy selection to include several vegan flavors. You can't go wrong with a scoop of ice cream after a long day hike. And if you're in need of replacing some worn-out socks, forgot your hammock, or a mouse ate a hole through your backpack, Flavors on Main General Store can fill your provisioning needs. And yes, they are Bernie approved. So there's always something going on in downtown Marion, and the best way to find out more is to contact McDowell County Chamber of Commerce or search our events on Facebook. And I saved the best hike for last. That's Linville Gorge, the Grand Canyon of the East Coast. This is one of my most favorite hikes. It's also featured as hike number 8 in the newly released Great Day hikes on the North Carolina Mountains to Sea Trail. It is described as the most challenging hike in the book, but it is totally worth your blood, sweat, and tears, I promise. This is an 8.4 mile day hike, one way, or an ambitious 16.8 mile out and back. See here, the gorge is approximately 1 mile wide and 2,000 feet deep. It features Short Off Mountain, Table Rock, and Hawksbill. And from the ridge, you can see all the places that you hiked and explored in McDowell County. There are several primitive camping sites along the ridge. And if time permits, I highly recommend an overnight camp so you can enjoy the sunset and the sunrise. For even more information on this trail, again, I encourage you to pick up a copy of the new day hike guide. And then last but not least is the Fontaflora Brewery at Whippoorwill Farm. Located just 13 minutes drive from Wolf Pit Trailhead, the brewery is like heaven on earth, offering a weary hiker a beer and a spectacular view of the day's strenuous hike. I just want to thank everyone so much for letting me share my Mountains to Sea Trail town with you today, and I hope you'll come take a hike with us. Take care.
Hi, this is Elizabeth Jernigan with Greensboro Parks and Recreation. I'm really excited to be here today and to share a little bit about what Greensboro and Guilford County have to offer. If you're not familiar with us, we are located right smack in the middle of the state, and that makes us a great spot for either a quick day trip or a little more fun on an overnight excursion into our downtown area. And these are the trails that make up our system. We are flanked to the east and west with the Guilford County Preserves, the Cascades Preserve, and Guilford County Farm. They're both phenomenal, unique sites that we are fortunate to have. All of the trails that are in the northern section of the city all follow our watershed boundaries. So this is the Cascades Preserve. It's just a really sweet trail that follows some cascading waterfalls. Great spot to pack a picnic and plan to spend some time. Next up, we have the Atlantic and Yadkin Greenway, and this extends from the Summerfield line down almost into downtown, and hopefully within the next few years, it will extend up into Summerfield and south, connecting up with the downtown Greenway. From there, you're going to pick up the Owl's Roost. This is Mark Gatehouse with Piedmont Fat Tire. They maintain this section of popular trail. This is the only section that is joint use. And from there, we're going to move on over to the Palmetto Trail, otherwise known as the Kudzu Forest. And once you get through that, you're going to pick up the Nat Green Trail, which is another really popular local trail. It's a great opportunity to check out turtles, birds, a lot of wildlife out there. Hugs the shores of Lake Brant. And then you can move on up into the Laurel Bluff Trail. This one is a little more challenging, has a bit more elevation gain than most of our other trails that hug the shores of the lakes, but you get some great views, and it's just a little different and unique. From there, you'll pick up the Crockett Trail. I'm sure you're tired of seeing pictures of trees and trails and lakes. So this is my daughter Nola during an ice storm. We had to get out. She now calls this Magic Trail. From Magic Trail, you're going to pick up the Osprey Trail. It's another family favorite. That's my new puppy Gus there on the bottom left, and my other daughter Clara in the middle. And finally, we have the Townsend Trail, which hugs the shores of Lake Townsend until we get up to Lake Brant. Then finally, on the eastern side of the county, we have the Guilford County Farm, which is a really unique site that was developed out of the old prison farm. Like any good system, we have our fair share of drama. We just recovered from a big rabid animal scare, but luckily that has been resolved. We have not resolved the issue of the naked man running. He's been seen the last couple of years, but this summer at least he was wearing a mask. So that's cool. What else can you do? A lot of other outdoor activities. Come check out the lakes and the kayaks, canoes, all of that stuff is available to rent. We have amazing playgrounds. This is Up in the Air, our newest inclusive playground. 4 public gardens, lots of spray grounds and other fun family activities. Can't go wrong with a Hoppers game. A lot of great art, particularly along the downtown Greenway. Check out the Civil Rights Museum, the Children's Museum. This is along the downtown Greenway. It's the new permaculture garden that is between Joymongers, one of our more popular breweries, and the downtown Greenway. That's not enough. Download Piedmont Discovery. This is a mobile app that we launched with High Point in Guilford County, and it's got hundreds of parks, trails, and other opportunities. And as always, thanks to all of the folks that make our trails happen, in particular, the Friends of the Mountains to Sea Trail, Greg Yan, and all of the volunteers that keep those trails maintained and help us build new trails. We have a fantastic staff over at Greensboro Parks and Recreation. We couldn't do it without Piedmont Fat Tire Society and some of our other trail maintainers and volunteers as well. So thanks.
Hi, I'm Terri Dennison with the Elizabethtown White Lake Area Chamber of Commerce. We are very grateful that the Mountain to Sea Trail organization has asked us to speak about the hidden treasures and gems in Bladen County. Bladen County is part of the coastal region of North Carolina. We're intercoastal, which means we are a little bit different than our shoreline surrounding counties. But we have a lot to offer. We were called the Mother County because it is said that all of the counties in Western North Carolina were divided out from the original Bladen County. Because of that, we call ourselves Mother Nature's Playground. We have a ton of outdoor assets, outdoor parks, recreational values where you can hike, bike, swim, boat, fish, just about do any type of recreational activity you'd like. We have 5 Carolina bays in Bladen County. These are basically lakes, a little shallow, that have some mysterious origins. Whether they're created by a meteor or a glacier is really up to everybody's speculation. On the Mountain to Sea Trail, you will actually either touch on or go by at least 4 of those lakes. The Mountain to Sea Trail in Bladen County is a combination of trails, roads, and there are a few alternate routes. The first place that you'll hit as you hike into Bladen County will be Harmony Hall, and it is part of the Great Day Hike number 28. Harmony Hall is a pre-revolutionary mansion. There is a surrounding village with buildings that are of that period where they try to explain the history of that period of the Revolutionary War. Harmony Hall also has a nice spur route, a 1 mile hike that will take you out to a view of the Cape Fear River. The hike itself, the day hike, is on paved road. It's very easy. The trail to the river is on a path. From Harmony Hall, you will basically follow close to Route 53. You will come to Salters Lake, which is a hidden lake. It is only accessible by hiking. And from there, you can move on to Jones Lake State Park, a very nice state park with a beach area, a paddle boat area. You can fish, you can kayak, several hiking trails. They also have a very updated campground with both primitive and spots with full hookups for trailer camping. From there, you can also experience another Great Day hike that goes from Turnbull Creek to Jones Lake or vice versa. Turnbull Creek Educational State Forest has an interpretive area that explains naval stores. Naval stores are not actual physical buildings. They are the products that come from the longleaf pines in the area. These helped create the whole naval industry. And it's probably the reason why Elizabethtown and Bladen County were developed as helping form the naval and the ship industry with the longleaf pines and the products that came from it. There is a 1 mile hike that is only a very easy, it's on a natural safe trail. There are several hikes available in this area if you would like to do them. The next place that you come to, leaving Turnbull, will be the White Lake community, which is a resort community. It is considered the nation's safest beach. The lake itself is a state park, but surrounding it are many different types of accommodations and places for you to enjoy all the water sports available on White Lake. White Lake is going through some transitions. It's becoming more of a trail town. The accommodations are becoming year-round. People are being open for the year, not just for the summer season. You can find cabins, cottages, motels, several campgrounds that have both primitive and room for trailer camping with hookups. So there's lots that you can do at White Lake. From White Lake, you come to Singletary State Park. The trail will take you around the lake. You can stop in the park itself and enjoy kayaking and fishing and all of those things off of their pier. That ends the Mountain Sea Trail, Section 13, as it comes to Bladen County. But there are a few other places you might want to visit when you're here. Probably like to stop in Elizabethtown, which has a very active Broad Street with locally owned stores and shops and wonderful restaurants. There is the Browns Creek Mountain Bike Trail, which has 13 miles of mountain bike trails, soon to be 26 miles. Also a great place to hike. They can be used as nature trails. And Torrey Hole Park, which was the site of a Revolutionary battle, has a 9-hole disc golf course, playgrounds, and a great walking system that leads you to an overlook of Cape Fear River. While you're here, you should probably stop at one of our 2 wineries. The Cape Fear Winery and Distillery has a beautiful restaurant as well as some great outdoor area, including a zoo. Great place to stop and relax. You may also want to relax at Blue Mill Vineyard, which again has beautiful scenery. You can fish on their ponds. They have cabins available. They are the home of the North Carolina Grape Festival and of the Festival of Lights. So we hope that you think about coming to our area. There's a lot of accommodation choices. It's a great place to do hub and spoke on the different parts of the Mountain to Sea Trail in our area, as well as there are other things for you to do while you're here, and you will enjoy a long weekend here. I'd like to show you a spot next that talks about our Mother Nature's playground. Thank you.
Well, thank you all. Makes me want to get out and visit some folks. Well, we can take some questions, but I have a couple of questions for our featured speakers. Is there a best kept secret that you would like to share with us that, you know, something that you're especially proud of, or that you would like to get on a soapbox and tell everyone about?
I'll start. I mentioned it in my section, but the Turnbull Educational Forest is really a fascinating place to go to hike around. I'm new to North Carolina, and learning about naval stores was just super interesting for me. And it's worth it. It's worth bringing the kids out and having them learn something about the history there.
Okay. Elizabeth or Jeff or Heather?
I'll jump in. I think one of ours from a hiking perspective is Bluff Mountain. I don't know if most folks know about that. It's owned by the Nature Conservancy, so you can't just show up and hike it anytime you want. But if you get on their website and you can sign up for one of their guided hikes or even book a time if you're being up. But if you get the chance to go up there, it's got some absolutely amazing views with a really nice waterfall as well that kind of comes off the bluff and falls down. Just a great thing to see. But it's something that, you know, most folks don't know about, but if you're in the area and you got some time and can schedule around one of those guided hikes, it's certainly worth it. And it's home to some very rare species of plants and flowers. as well as the I think it's the bog box turtle as well that only exists in several places and is a endangered species. So it's a cool place to go, but that's the reason you can't just go up anytime you want, and that's a fun place to get a chance to hike.
Thank you.
So I'll share with Marion. Can you hear me? Okay,
Yeah.
great, because I have a major thunderstorm going through right now. It's actually hailing at my house. So I will share that Marion was put on the map about 2018 when we had a Bigfoot festival, the WNC Bigfoot Festival, where the mayor actually proclaimed Bigfoot as the official animal of Marion. We had 50,000 people descend upon Marion, which is a population of 8,000. It took State Highway Patrol by surprise. It shut down I-40. And unfortunately, we weren't able to have the Bigfoot Festival this past year due to COVID, but I'm happy to announce that Bigfoot will be back. So if you're in our area, September 17th and 18th, you can come to our Bigfoot Festival and you can get out and hike and you might just see him on the trail.
Elizabeth?
Sure. One of my favorite things in Greensboro is the North Carolina Folk Festival. So if you have not had an opportunity to visit us and check that out, it's a great weekend full of fantastic music, food, beer trucks, everything. And that's in our downtown area, which is only about 10 minutes from all of those watershed trails. Our watershed trails are also just a great opportunity if you're looking to do some training, because you can mix and match a lot of them to create a lot of loop trails, and then come hang out downtown afterwards.
Okay. Lynn, I think we have a question.
Yes, we do. We have a question from Jerry Barker, and he wants to know, is Browns Creek Bike Park going to be 26 miles this year? So that's for Terri, I think.
Yes, yes. This year or the next year, Cape Fear Sorba, it takes care of that park, and they've added quite a few miles on this year, and I know it's their intention to go to 26 miles in a short time period. So those guys work really hard on that trail.
And there are a couple questions on Bigfoot, and they've asked that you post the information on that, Heather.
I sure will. So I will post some information in the chat box with a link so that you can get more information.
Cool. Hi, Tammy.
Hi, Tim.
Hey, if I know I've built some directional poles out here, and I'd like to build about 7 more, maybe one in Burgaw, if you can take care of that one for me. And
okay. Text me the information.
Okay.
That'd be great.
You find the location and I can make it happen.
Okay, thank you.
Sure. And I put birdhouses on.
I have some questions for our panel about, I'm a grandma. A lot of you are grandparents, or you're raising children right now. Is there part of the trail or an attraction that is great for children?
I'll jump in. I think the Cascades Trail here, which is really very accessible and very well marked. It's just off the parkway, so as you're driving along, you can stop. And it's a kind of a rewarding thing to take kids on, because you get down. It's a nice, very well graded path. There's some cool signs as you go down, identifying different trees and different bushes, and kind of gives you a little bit of that, so you can kind of stop and look at the tree and kind of educate on how to look at them, how to identify them. And then of course it ends down at a nice little waterfall. So that's a good place to check out if you're up in this area.
What was the name of that again?
Cascades.
Okay, thank you.
I'd like to jump in here. This is Bob Hillier. I'm with Elkin Valley Trails, and we've got something coming for kids and grandchildren, specifically for kids and grandchildren. We're building a bridge that'll be part of the MST. It's a suspension bridge, 165 feet long. We call it the Bridge of Dreams. And the reason why we call it a Bridge of Dreams is that we have dream ribbons They'll be available April 1st, next week. And you make a donation. You sit down with your kids or your grandchildren and you talk to them about the importance of dreams. When we're young, we've got lots of dreams, and somewhere along the line, we those sort of fade away. But you talk to them about it, get them to write their dream on the back of the dream ribbon, and then you come and attach it to the bridge. And we hope that that'll create a beautiful tapestry of several different colors of ribbons with Carter Falls in the background. And then once a year at Trail Days, we'll take the ribbons down to make room for more dreams, and hope that people will do this on an annual basis. Remember their dreams, write it down, and come out and post it on the Bridge of Dreams. So that's coming. Hopefully the bridge will be done this year.
Yeah, so could I add one thing there, Bob?
Yeah. Hey, Bill.
So the Trail Day, we have a little event this year called Trail Days. It's canceled last year because of the COVID, but it's coming back, and we're having hikes in smaller numbers. So be very COVID safe, but we've got 5 really interesting trails right around their area, and all the maps are on the website. But Carter Falls is really spectacular. It's worth seeing if you haven't seen that one. It's a 60-foot waterfall only about 3 miles from town that nobody really knew about. Seemed like for many, many years that the Mountain Sea Trail has enabled us to uncover. There's one of those ribbons. And if for kids, if you just want a nice flat, the Elkin Allegheny Rail Trail is built from downtown Elkin. It goes out about 1.5 miles, and with 6 other miles of trail spinning off of it. That's nice for kids too. That's a really good place for bikes. And there's a mountain bike course and hiking course in town there too. So lots of things going on.
Thank you. Elizabeth, I saw that you had your children on the trail. Is there a part of your trail in the Greensboro area that you prefer?
I have a couple of favorite trails, but pretty much all of our trails were built really close to the shores of the lake. And so just depending on what time of year you go out, you'll see all kinds of birds and wildlife. They're really popular. We like to count turtles. We like to look for the great blue herons. Our Parks and Recreation Department's been doing a lot of work around building scavenger hunts and helping encourage family hikes and parents to be more comfortable taking their children out on hikes. And so our trails are also great because we just have so many access points that you don't have to, if you're worried about COVID, there are certainly, more than one large trailhead that you can access. We really just encourage people to get out as often as possible and not worry about trying to accomplish 10 miles with kids. We've been through this for many years. Take a lot of M&Ms, take a lot of snacks, take a lot of Band-Aids, and just get out there and do what you can.
Terri, did you have anything to add?
I kind of like the trail from Jones Lake to Salters Lake. It's wide, it's pretty flat, so it's good for kids. It's interesting, and that little surprise at the end, finding another lake, is kind of cool.
Oh, that is nice. Well, is there a time of the year that is best to hike in your area, Terri?
I don't really think so, because I've enjoyed all the seasons here. Not the rainy season, though. It gets a little hard on some of our trails, but I think each season brings something different to see.
Okay. And how about you, Jeff? Is there a season that's best for hiking in your area?
Well, I'll go out anytime. I enjoy hiking in the snow and getting out and doing it in any season. But I think most folks, summertime's so great up here because, of course, our average high, is right around 80 degrees, 78 degrees. So if you're trying to get out of the Piedmont and escape the heat, this is always a popular destination. But fall's the other time. It's just so picturesque if you can time it right and get up here and see all the leaves changing when you get those views, and you're just seeing miles and miles of views and mountains and all those beautiful colors. But it is crowded up here. I think even this year we had traffic jams on the parkway. So if you're coming up on those weekends, just be prepared for a few extra crowds. But as hikers know, if you get just a little bit off the access point, most folks don't go that far. So it's still a great place to be hiking, even if there is a crowd.
Thank you. Heather?
I would have to agree with all the other panelists. I think every season has something to offer. You know, we have Lake James State Park. So in the summertime, that's a great place to be. They're getting ready to open their new visitor center. They have bike trails, camping, they have canoe camping. So that's a great place to have base camp. And then also during the summer, we have the Black Mountain Campground, which is only open April through October. And that is right next to the first trail that I mentioned in my presentation. So again, another great place to be and camp right next to the trail. And it also offers a lot of opportunity for fly fishing along the South Toe River. So I think summertime is great. However, I think there's also a lot of people who absolutely love the wintertime because you get the views, you have less crowds. I know folks who will actually hike up to Mount Mitchell from both Black Mountain and from Marion during the wintertime through snow, through rain, through whatever. They just enjoy being able to go up on the Blue Ridge Parkway and there's no traffic and they have the whole place to themselves and they've got great views. So I think every season has something wonderful to offer.
And I would think with the snow, you could find Bigfoot easier.
Absolutely. I've actually seen Bigfoot. I don't think he was the real Bigfoot, and he startled quite a few people on the trail. I think they were doing some kind of filming. It caught everybody off guard.
And Jennifer, I didn't want to forget you. I mean, Elizabeth.
I prefer the winter in Greensboro. I'm a cold weather person, so hiking on our trails in the summer is not my favorite thing. But with the leaves off the trees, we have great views. You can see so much of the watershed lakes, and they just extend pretty far out. And so we got a lot of good stuff going on there. But obviously, fall and spring is always really lovely as well. We got a lot of wildlife, a lot of land around our lakes. So it really is a really great way to get people out from the city and still have a close opportunity.
Okay, thank you. Lynn, did we have any more questions?
We had some comments.
Okay.
We had a comment from Charlotte, and she said, our grandkids love to find the white blazes, which I hope everybody knows are round. So go anywhere and let them roam and look for the blazes. And then Jason Smith says, with kids, flexibility is more important than the location itself. Some days they're done in a mile, and some days they're keep going longer than you want. And to reflect on that, I suggest you look for places that have playground and ice cream.
That sounds like a good grandma.
Well, it was a trick on the bike when we used to haul our kids around.
All right, we have another question for Terri, it looks like.
Yes, we do. That just came in from Molly. Terri, are there any plans for the trail from Jones Lake to Salters Lake to ever extend around Salters Lake? And I don't know if Ben is here.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I haven't heard anything to that end, but I will find out.
Okay, and Heather has put in a website on the campground, and I've put in the chat some links to some of the comments that our speakers have made.
Thank you. We have just 5 more minutes before they shut us down. Is there any other questions from the audience?
I have a kind of interesting feature about our trail system that is unique. Because we are located so close to the city center, we're very fortunate to work closely with our fire department, and we have a really active rescue marker program. And so for people that are uncomfortable about experiencing nature for the first time, this is a good way for people to get out and be secure in knowing that our fire department can access all of those rescue points in a very short amount of time. So there's no lack of phone coverage or anything like that. So it really is also a great place for getting those new hikers out.
That's a great point, because that was brought out in our one conference where the young man's mother's trying to talk him out because of the snakes and all the other bugs and everything else that's out there. So that's a great point to bring out, that those things can be overcome.
Question for Jeff. Still have the cheese factory there, the Ashe County Cheese Factory and Crumpler. And is Shatley Springs in Ashe County?
Yeah, so Ashe County Cheese is right in downtown West Jefferson. You can't miss it, and it is just, it's a great place to visit, and excellent selection of local made cheeses, and real great visitors and center and gift shop there. Get a good tour of the factory, and they are open, so you can come up and check them out now, of course, with masks and distancing. And yes, Shatley Springs is also in Ashe County. So if you haven't checked out Shatley Springs, it's an old family style restaurant, kind of got this kind of located, it's a little out of the way, but it's not hard to get to, and you can, drink some fresh spring water that's supposed to cure what ails you right there from the ground and out of the tap. But yeah, they are in Ashe County, and two great places to stop. And if you're out this way too, I mean, if you're out at Shatley Springs, getting out to Lansing, checking out some of the stuff that's up there, including the Molly Chomper Cidery is a great place to stop. So yeah, lots to see and do, and all those places are here.
And take your water bottles to fill them up at Shatley Springs.
All right, we've got 1 more minute for questions. Any other questions?
I'll make a point on Ashe County if I could, please.
Sure.
I'm Bob Johnson. Gentleman from Ashe County has mentioned a lot of things, but I work the trail in Ashe County. It's basically 30 miles, a little less than 30 miles of the Mountains to Sea Trail in Ashe County. I think I heard him mention the Cascades Trail, but there's some beautiful areas besides that. That's where the crowd goes. If you want to get away from the crowd, move to another place. But just beyond, just north of the Cascades, if you'll go through the rock garden about a mile north, it's beautiful. It's not hiked much. And you can start the trail there at the Cascades and go to it. It was about a 2-mile trail, 4 miles there and back, maybe 3 to 4 miles, but just continue on. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for sharing that. Any other questions? They're going to shut us down. Here we go.
Mary just says the Friscoes are close to and great to go to.
And what was that?
The frescoes. Mary, can you expand?
There's 2 Ben Long frescoes in Ashe County. One's just outside of West Jefferson, and the other is in Glendale Springs, just off the Parkway. They're painted by Ben Long, world-renowned artist in the Italian style. They're awesome things to come and check out. The churches are open, most days, but Church of the Frescoes, if you Google that, that'll give you some information on it. Just absolutely beautiful pieces of art to check out, and one is very, very close to the trail.
Yeah, they're very beautiful, and there's actually a North Carolina fresco trail too, if anybody's looking for more trails to do. So there's more frescoes all around North Carolina.